Good afternoon, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Begakar Ahmed and welcome to today's video. Today I need to be going ahead and speaking about Lebanon. Lebanon is a very, very important country to me as I am Lebanese. My father is from Lebanon and my whole entire family is Lebanese. Now, I was born and raised in the United States of America, but that does not mean I don't love my home country. That does not mean I don't have relatives that live there who are being bombed at this moment. So I want to go ahead and speak about this situation. I want to go ahead and talk about what the future looks like and how all of this is kind of playing out and how I expect it to play out. Now, as an American citizen, as someone who lives here, pays American tax, and as America, who is Israel's number one supporter and ally, and Israel, who is bombing my home country and killing my family members and my friends, this is something that drives me a little bit crazy in my mind, as I don't choose where I'm born. I don't choose what border I identify beyond or behind. So this is something that really does hurt me because I'm in a situation where what do I do at this point, right? How am I supposed to feel at this point? If I speak against the United States of America, is that freedom of speech, or is that, going against the United States? Are they going to throw me in jail because freedom of speech doesn't matter? They're going to close my YouTube channel down because freedom of speech doesn't matter. But what is happening right now is atrocious and is disgusting. Israel has decided to go ahead and start attacking Lebanon at full force. The way they decided to do this, I believe around 5 days ago, they decided to go ahead and implement bombs in an order of 5,000 or so pagers that were sent to Lebanon. Not just pagers, but other devices such as satellites, solar devices, things of this nature, went ahead and exploded. The lithium batteries went ahead and exploded while they were attached to people's bodies, while they were in people's hands, while they were on people's heads, while they were speaking. And this caused a lot of death. It caused a lot of injury, and it caused a lot of destruction to people's homes, to people's businesses. And it was something that was very, very, very much a big problem the other day to the whole world, not just Lebanon, because people now think, can my phone just explode in my hand with the click of a button because the government wants it to? And it scares people now because now people are scrolling down Instagram, their phone could just blow up in their face. This is not something that is fantastic because everyone has a phone, everyone has technology around them. My monitor, my microphone, my computer, my phone, you're telling me all this explodes, I'm gonna die. My whole room's gonna explode. Look at all the screens, look at all the lithium batteries around me. So this is something that worries the whole entire world, and this is a tragic thing happened to Lebanon the other day. Now, when Israel does something like this and they commit terror attacks like this on civilians, on people all over the country, it's not a terrorist attack, right? They don't label it a terrorist attack. But when Hezbollah strikes back, it's a terrorist attack. And I find this interesting on how the United States and Israel decide to label terrorism or label terrorist groups. First off, usually it's the groups they create and they fund that they label as terrorist groups, but them themselves are never terrorists. No matter how much they colonize the world, no matter how many millions of people they blow up and kill, no matter how many people they arrest for speaking their mind or doing what they need to do, these countries will always claim that their freedom, their democracy, and that all these other countries are dictatorships, they're horrible, and you don't want to live there, and you have no freedom, and you have no rights there. It is the most atrocious, disgusting way of thinking ever. Go to Lebanon. You as a Christian, you as a Muslim, you as a Jew, you as an atheist will have the time of your life in Lebanon. Lebanon is one of the most beautiful countries. It is off the Mediterranean Sea, and it is gorgeous. It is half Christian, half Muslim, and there is a million things to do there. It is a very beautiful country. It is a very open country, and for people who have a closed mindset when it comes to the Middle East, I suggest you go ahead and open it up because the Western media tries to paint the Middle East as this evil land with evil Arabs on camels who chop people's heads off and love the religion of Islam, and that's what Islam is. And they paint this picture in everyone's head that's not in the Middle East. Well, the people in the Middle East are sick of this. There's people in Lebanon who are living their life day to day, Christian and Muslim, just trying to live, trying to go see their family, and their phones are exploding on their hip. This is an issue. This is a very big issue. And not just this, as a couple days ago, 2 days from now, backwards, Israel had decided to launch hundreds of strikes on Lebanon, killing over 600 people now, displacing over 900,000 people. And this is what they are doing at this exact moment. They are continuing to bomb Lebanon and displace hundreds of thousands of people, kill thousands of people, and this is not a problem. No, this is nothing like October the October the 7th, that they complain it was the worst day in history since the Holocaust. They killed 1,000 Jews. You just killed almost 1,000 Lebanese people as we're still counting the bodies. You killed over 200 women and children in Lebanon, blowing them up through cell phones, blowing them up through airstrikes that come out of the sky. And you're sitting here and telling me what? You're not a terrorist? Why? Why are you doing that? Because Hezbollah? Let's go ahead and find out the Israeli response, the Israeli warning. Because as we know, Israel is the most generous army on the planet. They warn everyone before they blow their brains out. So let's go ahead and hear the warning from the Israeli side and see what they have to go ahead and say. This is a warning from Israel's military spokesperson, okay? To keep away from Hezbollah posts.
About an hour ago.
Right? So he's telling them to stay away from the Hezbollah posts, like where the Hezbollah like sits with their guns and stuff. Stay away from those posts because they are issuing a warning that they're going to go ahead and bomb them. But they didn't issue a warning they're going to blow up everyone's phones. They didn't issue a warning that they were going to bomb in the middle of highly populated cities and neighborhoods. They didn't issue this warning.
Following indications that Hezbollah was preparing...
What's a Hezbollah post? Anywhere a Hezbollah member is, that you think a Hezbollah member is, that's a Hezbollah post?
...to fire towards Israeli territory. We began striking terrorist targets throughout Lebanon. The Hezbollah terrorist organization has been continuously launching attacks on Israeli civilians and has no plans to stop. Shortly, the IDF will...
If you guys would like to go ahead and check, Hezbollah, I'm not defending Hezbollah. Hezbollah has been attacking Israeli civilians. They've been launching strikes on Israeli civilians. Please, ladies and gentlemen, please go ahead and find me a news article. Please go ahead and find me a video where Hezbollah is striking civilian areas and they're not striking military outposts and governmental buildings only and closing off like streets and transportation routes. They have yet to drop missiles in the middle of civilian areas. This is yet to happen. So what you're saying right now is complete garbage, complete BS, and you have no news, you have no information to prove it. Not even the IDF can go ahead and claim that that Hezbollah is dropping bombs on civilians. This is complete garbage, BS, lies. 0 civilians are dying because Hezbollah is shooting rockets into Israel. They're shooting them at IDF outposts. They're shooting them at specific militant areas. They are not trying to waste their ammunition and money and time and effort on hitting civilians. It does nothing for them. That's not their objective. Their objective is to tear down the IDF as much as possible, to weaken the IDF as much as possible, not to go ahead and kill random civilians. It doesn't help them at all. You guys like doing that because you're sickos. You guys love killing random civilians because you have billions and trillions of dollars worth of bombs that you can just drop on people's heads. Yeah, Hezbollah doesn't have that. They have to reserve their ammo for you guys, the actual threat, not random civilians walking down the street, a mother and her kids. Hezbollah does not want to blow up a mother and her kids. This is not what they've been doing. This is not their plan. And if you go ahead and see how it's been working for the last 20 years, I don't see Hezbollah blowing up mothers and children like you're blowing up mothers and children. I don't see Hezbollah tapping into 5,000 devices and blowing them up on people's hips, on people's faces as they're talking on them. I have never seen any acts of terrorism like this from Hezbollah to Israel, as Israel has been hitting Lebanon for the last 50 years. It is disgusting the way that they try and make Hezbollah seem like this crazy terror group when they do the most atrocious war crimes you could possibly commit on this planet. I'm surprised they haven't dropped gas that burns your skin off or a nuke on Lebanon yet, because the way these people think is so sick, and then they go ahead and play victim right after. It's crazy to me.
Engage in extensive, precise strikes against terror targets which have been embedded widely throughout Lebanon. We ask residents of Lebanese villages to pay attention to the message and warning published by the IDF and heed them. This is an advance warning for your own safety and the safety of your family. We advise civilians from Lebanese villages located in and next to buildings and areas used by Hezbollah for military purpose, such as those used to store weapons, to immediately move out of harm's way for their own safety. I want to repeat, move out of harm's way immediately.
So he's so nice. He's warning all of the Lebanese citizens who speak Arabic in English to move out of harm's way. What a nice guy. Imagine warning a whole country who doesn't speak English, who speaks Arabic and French, in a language they don't speak, which is English. Please move out of harm's way before we bomb you. Please make sure you're away from Hezbollah outpost. Even if you don't know if there's one there, just make sure you're out of the way because we're going to bomb you. They're such a nice army. They're so generous. You know, next time someone is going to kill my family, I hope they warn me in German or Swedish because I don't speak those languages. So maybe if you warn me in a language I don't speak, I'll understand it better than if you told me in English, the language I do speak. You know, that was very smart of him, is to go ahead and give a whole country who speaks Arabic a warning that he's going to bomb them from the sky in English. It is so nice of him. Good job. And you know what? Maybe rather than just bombing them, you shouldn't have bombed them to begin with. Instead of sending them out a warning, because the warning does nothing. What are you going to give them, 24 hours to get out? Where are they going? To the middle of a field? Where are they going, bro? And, like, why? This is the sick stuff that the IDF, this is the sick games that they play. They do this. They go, well, we warned them in English, in a language they don't speak, whatever. It's not like the whole country was going to evacuate of hundreds of millions of people. So you know what? We'll do? We'll just bomb them anyways. And then when the world goes, why'd you bomb them? Why did you do that? That's atrocious. We'll just say, oh, we warned them. We warned them. We're not the bad guy. Even though we killed 1,000 people. We just gave Lebanon on October the 7th. We blew up handheld devices in their face. We committed a complete terrorist attack on the country. But you know what? We warned them. As long as Hamas and Hezbollah warns Israel before they obliterate them, they should be good. It should be legit. It's not terrorism. As long as you warn the person that you're going to nuke before you nuke them and obliterate their whole entire generation and people, you know, it's okay. Just warn them. And then it's okay to go ahead and commit a genocide after. It's okay to go ahead and bomb people out of the sky after. You're just more than welcome to do that. Just make sure you send out a warning. This is what they did to people in the middle of grocery stores, in the middle of their homes. This is what was happening to people.
A very modern form of unconventional warfare blamed on Israel. Communication devices.
This guy lost his hip.
Is turned into.
Do you guys know what
bombs.
lost his hip means? That means there's a hole the size of a baseball right now in the side of this guy's hip because he was wearing whatever communication device on his hip and it exploded. This is what was happening to people. The footage that you see on the Western media is wild. When you go and you watch the Arabic news, when you see what's actually happening in Lebanon, when you see holes the size of baseballs in people's chests, in people's heads, in people's sides of their bodies, bleeding, gushing blood because their phone or their pager or whatever the case just exploded on them. The middle of their family room eradicated into pieces because their phones are exploding. This is ridiculous. This is the type of thing that Israel's doing, and then they just play victim after. Oh, it's Hezbollah, we warned them. They broadcast through the radio station. They're sending out warnings through the radio stations that they're about to get bombed. And then they bomb them. And then when they get bombed and people die and people go, F Israel, what ends up happening? They go, oh, but we warned them. In languages they don't speak. It's literally wild to me. I don't understand the concept of how these criminals work or act, but they're trying to do something that has nothing to do with what people think, right? They're trying to go for a much grander plan. They're trying to take the whole Middle East. And Lebanon, Iran are a big problem. And they have to remove them from the land, because if they don't remove these people from the land, and they don't remove these groups from the land, then Israel can't have the whole Middle East that they want. The Jewish people can't run the world the way that they want. They can't run the banking systems the way they want. They can't control the world's minds the way that they want. With Islam in the way, it's a big problem. You know, get Islam out of the way. Let us do whatever we want to do. You know, like, this is the concept that they have in their head. It's literally insanity. It's crazy. So the numbers that we have are around 600 people, okay, in a single day. According to Lebanon's health ministry, total includes 50 children, 94 women. Those are the death tolls as of right now that we have according to today at noon. This is the deadliest day in history since 15 years civil war, which ended in 1990. So since the Civil War, this is the biggest bloodshed that has happened in Lebanon. This marks one of the worst things that has happened in a long time in Lebanese history. And this is going to activate a response, not just from Hezbollah. This is going to activate a response from the whole country. This is going to activate a response from Iran. And I'm pretty sure that is what Israel wants. And they're not going to get it the way that they want it, but it is going to activate a response. And this is not something where they're going to sit down and watch bombs fly from the sky. They're not going to sit down and watch their phones explode. They're not going to sit down and watch themselves be terrorized and be scared of you. They're going to do something about it. You're not messing with America. You're not messing with Great Britain. You're not messing with Israel. When you hit the country, they do nothing. They're weak. They have to use billions and trillions of dollars worth of nuclear warfare and weapons and tanks and in airplanes to go ahead and fight. No. These people will come with a rock, and they'll rock half your army with a rock. Be very, very careful of the people that you're messing with, because you are messing with people who are not going to give up. You're messing with people who don't mind dying and going back to their creator, because they know that their creator is going to take care of them and not take care of you. They know this life is very finite. It's very short. So you might as well live it correctly. And these people are not going to give up. These people have never given up, and they're not going to give up. You have a job to go ahead and do, Israel. You want to get rid of Lebanon, you want to get rid of Palestine, and you want to get rid of Iran. Guess what? Good luck. And good luck going ahead and trying to fight the Shia population, because we learned something through history. There's something that we remember every single year as Shia Muslims in Lebanon, Yemen, Iran, Iraq, and all over the Middle East and all over the world. We remember Imam Hussein's sacrifice. We remember the grandson of our prophet and how he died. How he died not giving the power to this tyrannical sicko, Yazid. He died with 72 other of his family, friends, companions, all of them. Literally the closest people to Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be on him, died and sacrificed for a way greater cause. And that is what Shia Muslims remember every single year. That is what we cry for every single year. This is what we have in our heart every single year. The love for Ahlul Bayt, the sacrifice that they made to preserve Islam. And this is what we do. This is why you see Shia Muslims, and only Shia Muslims, in Yemen, Lebanon, Iran, Iraq, fighting for our Palestinian brothers and sisters, getting hit for our Palestinian brothers and sisters. And we will never stop, we will never end until we end back at our creator when it comes down to it. This is how it works. This is the love that we have for Islam. This is the love that we have for the Ahlul Bayt, for the family of our Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. We're not going to let some sickos come into our land, destroy our families, destroy our homes, destroy everything that we've built and we've created over the last hundreds of thousands of years, and go ahead and just destroy everything, throw it to the ground. It's not going to happen. We've learned, and we've learned through history repetitively, over and over again. We've learned what sickos Saudi Arabia is and how their Wahhabi regime runs around not just the Middle East, but the whole entire world, paying and implementing sicko ideologies of Islam into people's heads, implementing all of this garbage, spreading terrorism across the Middle East with the Taliban, with ISIS, with Al-Qaeda, with all of these groups. How sick these human beings are that they fund these groups. How sick Saudi Arabia is that they control Mecca and Medina, the most holy places on this planet, the birthplace of our Prophet, the place that we pray every single day towards, the literal main focus point of our prayer, the original house of worship built by Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam. Why do these sickos, these sick Zionists, sickos, Wahhabis run the most beautiful place on earth? Why? The people who are now allowing drinking, people who are allowing people to come and throw concerts in the country, while they let Palestine get bombed, while they make deals with Israel, while they make deals with the United States of America, while they work with them. They just bought $1 trillion in weaponry from the United States of America, shaking Donald Trump's hand, the king or the crown prince of Saudi Arabia. This is sick. These are the people who run our countries. These are the people who run the Middle East. These are the people we're supposed to get our religion from. These are the people who we're supposed to get our politics from. Screw these people. And you know what? The more they want to go ahead and push, and the closer they want to go ahead and get to a complete evil world and world domination, good luck. You're going to provoke Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you're going to start provoking these prophecies from happening. And when these prophecies do happen, you're screwed. Not us. Not the people who believe. Not the people who are willing to die for what they believe or what they want to say. Not the people who are willing to die for their family or for their home or for their country. The people who are going to suffer are the sickos who thought they can take over the whole world, because you're only here for 100 years tops. I don't care how many heart transplants or brain transplants or mouth transplants you get, you're going to die. And when you go back to your creator, when God wants to take you, good luck. You will have to answer for everything that you've ever done in your whole entire life. These sickos will not stop, and they will continue to bomb, continue to strike. The people who have it, who are religious, the people who have it all together, who don't want to stop fighting, those are the people to go after. Because once they get them out of the way, no one's going to stop them. Who's going to stop them? The people here that are going free Palestine and then going to soccer games, watching football games, and just forgetting about it. Like, what's the point? What's the point? What are we doing? What are we doing in the Western world? What are we doing in Europe? What are we doing in Asia? What are we doing in the Middle East? What are we doing to stop this or fight this? The only people who are doing anything about it are the Shia people of Lebanon, Iran, Yemen, Iraq, and these are the people who are standing side by side with their Sunni brothers and sisters in Palestine, in Gaza, in the West Bank, and they're risking their lives, they're risking their country, they're risking their families' lives, they're risking their home, they're risking their everything, they're putting everything on the line to go ahead and protect their Muslim ummah, their Muslim brothers and sisters. And I think that everyone needs to go ahead and look at this population of people and see, why is Israel attacking them now? Why is Israel destroying Lebanon now? Why is Israel doing these things? Why are these people even fighting? Why has Lebanon put themselves in the crosshairs of Israel to begin with? Why are these Shia Muslims why are they defending Sunni Muslims, especially people in Palestine who literally call Sunni Muslims kafir and call them names and say they're not Muslim and say they worship imams and say all this crazy stuff, and stir up this propaganda? Why are they defending them? Why are they risking their country? Why are they risking everything for them? They're not. They're risking it for Islam. They're risking it for their salvation. They're risking it for the Muslim ummah in general. They're doing it for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They're protecting their Muslim ummah. It's what you do as a Muslim, Sunni or Shia. The only difference is the Shia people remember every year the sacrifice that our Prophet and our Prophet's family had made for the religion of Islam. The preservation that they went ahead and sacrificed everything for. And this is why we don't give up. This is why we fight for our Muslim brothers and sisters. When we see something like Karbala, like the day that our Prophet's grandson, 72 other of his companions, family members, died on a battlefield surrounded by their enemy. Very similar to Gaza and Israel right now. We do not like that. We see it and we remember Imam Hussein. We remember our Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him and his family. And we will fight until the day that we die to make sure and ensure that those people do not undergo what our Prophet's grandchildren underwent. We will make sure that we learn from the lessons of history, and we will make sure that no matter what happens, our Muslim brothers and sisters are safe. And that is Shia Islam. That is the love for Ahl al-Bayt. That is the love and the remembrance of Imam Hussein and what he sacrificed for every single year on the battlefield of Karbala. And this is exactly why they want us gone. This is exactly why they're after Iran, they're after Lebanon, they're after Yemen, they're after these people. They're after these people and they want them gone because they know they are the biggest threat to this earth. They know that they have the strongest faith to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They know that they understand history and how it repeats itself, and they will not let it happen again. Imagine people willing to die for their faith, willing to die for their family, people who are not scared to go back to the Creator, people who understand their sacrifice that people made in the past, like Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and won't let that happen again, won't let Karbala happen again. Those people are almost impossible to defeat, and when you defeat them, you send them back to their Creator. You only did them a solid. So congratulations, guys. We are stirring up some very big things here in the world. What they are doing into this election season. The interest rates just went down. I've been studying finance for a very long time. Our economy is going to collapse very, very soon. People are going to be struggling to buy things. People are going to be struggling to keep their homes. The interest rates had been spiked up for the last couple years, and nothing ended up happening. The prices of homes went up as the interest rates went up. That was not supposed to happen. Interest rates were supposed to go up. Prices of homes were supposed to go down. It was supposed to solve inflation. It did not. Now interest rates are coming back down while the prices are still very, very high, which is going to cause prices to continue to inflate, which means you are not going to have the money to afford anything. And when the economy crashes going into this election, they will continue to bomb the Middle East harder than they have ever done in their life. The United States of America will join, the UK will join, and they will go full force in on the Middle East. This can start a World War III, and this is something that is very bad for all of us. This is going to reset the financial economy of the world. And when they do this, I promise you, when they do this, no one's going to care about the Middle East. No one's going to worry about Lebanon. No one's going to worry about Palestine. No one's going to worry about Iran. No one's going to worry about World War III. They're going to be worried about, how do I feed my family? How do I pay my rent? And where do I get a job? Because our economy is going to fall to garbage. People are going to lose their homes. It's going to be 2008 on steroids. And when this happens, no one's going to be thinking about kids in Palestine. They're going to be thinking about their self and their own family. So get ready for the distractions, because they know exactly what they're doing. They're timing it completely right. And yeah, all eyes might be on Palestine. People might care and whatnot. But what are they doing? And when something bad happens to all of us, the whole world economy, to our families, when we can't eat, when we can't work, when we can't do things, you think we're going to be worried about the Middle East? No, we're not. We're going to be worried about ourselves. We're going to be worried about our kids. We're going to be worried about our brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, grandparents. We're not going to be thinking about fixing Palestine, especially when we have no money, no resources, and no education to go ahead and do something like that. So just letting you guys know, be prepared for what is to come next. Protect yourself, protect your family, and what we're seeing gather up in the Middle East right now, what we're seeing gather up in Europe, in the Western worlds, the change in the social media push and the people's voices, this is all a plan, and everything is coming down to this next year. And be very, very careful within this next year. Protect yourself, protect your family, protect your mental, protect your soul. Please find Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Please find God Almighty. Get down on your hands and knees, create a relationship with God, and make sure you keep that bond, because through everything that happens, the only thing that's going to make you out of any of this, or get you out of any of this, is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is God's guidance. If you're dead, if you're alive, God's guidance is going to be the way, not anything else around you. So remember that. When everything is going to crap, you're not going to be able to have a plan to fix it all. You're not Inspector Gadget. What's going to happen is God Almighty will guide you. God Almighty will protect you if you establish that connection with Him. So please do. God bless every single one of you. Thank you for coming in today, and we'll keep you updated. We'll go ahead and check today, tomorrow, the next day on what's going on in Lebanon. This is very, very upsetting for me, for my family, for my friends, as we are Lebanese, and this is very, very sad to see. But it is what it is. It was expected on my end. I believe this was going to happen the second I saw October 7th happen. I was supposed to go to Lebanon on October 8th. The day after Hamas hit Israel, I was supposed to travel to Lebanon, canceled my trip, didn't end up going to Lebanon. So I haven't been to Lebanon since I was 14 years old, and it's somewhere that I really want to go back and travel to now that I'm older, so I can move around and drive around and do my own thing. But as we can see the climate of it today, I can't get over there. So unfortunately, inshallah, hopefully I'll get to go ahead and visit Lebanon very soon. And inshallah, my home and my family members and my friends who are over there stay safe, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protects them. Thank you guys so much for coming in today. God bless every single one of you, and until next time, free Palestine and free Lebanon now. Bye-bye.